What's going on, Capricorn? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal month so far. You always say it's around that time, Cap. But for those of you, before we get into it, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Cap, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why, Cap, because it is Celestial News Monthly. I kind of dug that one. That was a really... that felt pretty legit there, Cap. But with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. I've been kind of dancing around a lot more, Cap. It's just a thing. We're going through a phase, but your, maybe, space has been cleansed. No, definitely your space has been cleansed. I'm all over the place. Crystals. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cap. So I have Zodiac Oracle cards with the signs that the planets and the sun are in. I'm going to pull an Oracle card from this deck for each one of them, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching, Cap, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group, so I think you'd enjoy them. But before we hop into your first card here, let's talk about this party that Libra is throwing. Because you got the sun that's entering Libra, Mercury's going to be in Libra, and then we also got a little special event here. We have a new moon solar eclipse that's going to be happening in their sign. So really exciting time there, Cap. But let's talk about the sun first. Because the sun is going to be entering Libra on the 23rd of September, and that'll be about 2:50 a.m. Eastern time, and then we'll be there through the 23rd of October. And with this energy, Cap, this is a great energy for connecting with others. You know, Libra deals with those one-on-one relationships, so whether we're forming, whether we're connecting with people for business, maybe for love, because I think you had a little love reading there not too long ago, and I think you've been hanging out with people too. But or this could be even in family, friends. Great cycle for connecting as far as and building those kind of bonds, or just kind of get just catching up there, Cap. But you will be able to as well to see all sides from a situation, because when Libra approaches things, they like to weigh, they really are come with a very fair, very balanced approach to things. So really great energy to work with there as well. But also this is a great energy for appreciating beauty, whether this is something that you're creating there, Capricorn, or if this is like going out and maybe going to like an art festival, or maybe going to like a museum, or going to like a concert, or maybe even just appreciating just like nature around you, going for a hike in the mountains, or going for a stroll by the river, maybe skipping through a meadow. I see you. Look at you frolicking. But any energies like that, or any activities like that, Capricorn. But also you have Mercury that's going to be entering on the 4th of October and will be there through the 22nd of October. And with this energy, diplomacy takes the center stage. It really creates a more creates more harmony in our relationship. So if you've noticed any kind of dissonance that's been going down, maybe between you and another person, or maybe just in your social circle there, Cap, you can act there as a mediator there, because you're going to come with more like sophistication, and more, not that you're not sophisticated, but come with more like refinement and more grace and things along those lines. Libra is a very charming energy. But also, communication with others really does come to the forefront there, Cap. So really, capitalize on this energy for, networking and really kind of strengthening bonds and things along those lines. And then last little bit, There's going to be that new moon solar eclipse that's going to be happening in Libra on the 14th of October. And eclipses bring about change there, Capricorn. And with it happening in Libra, this really asks us to examine the relationships in our lives. And if there are any that we need that are feeling unbalanced, do we need to let these relationships go, or maybe we just need to put up some boundaries? However this is looking. And this could be either with people, maybe this is with our living situation, or, you know, just something to think about there, Capricorn. And then depending on where your placements are at, this is going to be forming a square with your sign. And now squares are, squares can be tougher kind of energies. They create this disharmony in a sense, which is kind of almost ironic that is happening in Libra. But, even though you may come across some challenges, maybe some delays and things along those lines, it's not that we won't be able to achieve anything or getting things moving, but we just got to work a little harder at it in order to get those things going. It's usually kind of like just some things that may be out of our control that happens, but it's just like how do we work with those curveballs there, Capricorn? But let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Oh, interesting. All right, looks like we're going to go on a... I had something clever for this, but it fell out of my head. You got the second card of Aquarius here, moving on, which is the Labyrinth card. Look at you getting lost. Well, hopefully being found. Still haven't found it. But with this card, this is a card of loss, delayed, complex, contemplate. It's complicated, going inward, spiritual quest, deliberation, long way home, problem to solve, catch-22, and a situation to sort out. An energy that's coming through here, Capricorn, is going inward. And maybe for some, maybe we are about to get lost for a little bit. Maybe getting lost in the internal subconscious that is you. Into the subconscious that is you, Capricorn. I don't know why I'm making this harder than it needs to be. I'm blaming Mercury retrograde. But with this energy here, Cap, I do feel like considering where your ruler's at. I think I'm going to switch that up a little bit just because we're talking about it. Considering where your ruler's at and where he's going to be for the next 3 years, you are in a very spiritual space right now for a journey of self-discovery and a journey of really finding out who you really are, what you're meant to do, what you want to manifest, and really connect with those higher sources. Because even though, because you are known as the achievers of the Zodiac, but your sign is a very interesting one considering you're a sea goat there, Cap. But that tail that goat has, it allows you to play in that water, because you're not just, yes, you're an earth sign, but that's kind of nice though that you can to be able to manifest in this world that the way that you do. Yes, it does take time, with being Saturn ruled. Saturn does take a while to grow. It's a slow burn type of energy, and that can be tough, when we're going through this journey. It can kind of lead us to feeling defeated, bringing down our self-esteem. It can be even a little disheartening. And usually things start picking up. And again, it's not that you don't start noticing achievements right off the bat, but it's usually after like your first Saturn return. Between like 28 and let's say between 28 and 30 when that happens. And it takes a few years even after that energy hits to really kind of get settled in. That's when things really start kind of taking off and you really start coming into yourself there, Capricorn. And, like Saturn is a sign or as a planet of wisdom as well. And I feel like that it's the wisdom that you gain from persevering through these challenges, to keep that mindset even in the face of adversity, not knowing 100% maybe how we're going to get to our goals, but just trusting in that sort of divine guidance and tuning into that trusting that intuition, Capricorn. And I feel like there's a lot that you can really learn with Saturn being in Pisces right now. And this could even be too, considering even though Libra is about relationships, it can be like make that relationship between you and Source there, Capricorn. I don't see why not. Let's think a little abstract a little bit, because I feel like you really do make that connect to those divine energies, Capricorn. You can manifest greatness, but let's get some tarot on this and get some details. right, Capricorn, let's see what's going on here. All right, Cap. So you have the Four of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and then the Knight of Wands here. And I feel like with this energy, Capricorn, you know, the page or the Four of Swords can be like a card of rest, you know, because especially I feel sometimes when we get caught up in our head as far as like, when am I going to achieve this stuff? You know, when are things going to start, you know, maybe getting better if that's something that's been resonating with you, or, you know, I can even feel because, you know, it's not to say that this happen, you know, because we all can be you know, get depressed and get down from time to time, but I feel like Capricorn energy is one that is susceptible to depression just because it's just because, again, things can seem to take a longer time to manifest than maybe it does for others. And sometimes too, I feel like that can even lead to this energy of where we start feeling jaded, where we feel like that the universe isn't being fair, if and it's not that we're going to, you know what I mean, Capricorn, that we're not getting the stuff that we deserve there. It's like we got to settle for less, maybe even some of you might be thinking. But I feel like if we just focus on the fact that, you know, of the things that we don't have there, Capricorn, we can miss out when the opportunities are being presented to us. With the see how this cup is being presented behind you, but where you looking, Capricorn? And again, I feel like with the Four of Swords, it's just like when you do find yourself kind of getting in those sort of spirals there, I almost feel like that there's a need to find this space here with the Page of Wands to really kind of contemplate your direction in life, because I'm almost kind of getting with the Knight of Wands that maybe for some we've been, I don't know, maybe things have been like maybe a little stressful as of late, or, you know, we've been kind of wrapped up in trying to figure out where and why we're going to the stuff that we're not having maybe enough fun in our world. Because the Knight of Wands, you know, where he is one that you know, he's a serious knight, but he's one that he follows his passions, and, you know, he's sometimes it's nice to kind of shift things up a little bit, to be a little, I'm almost getting like this need to be maybe like a little impulsive and to kind of follow your heart a little bit, to bring a little more kind of love and joy in your life. You know what I mean? Like, you know, maybe we've been just kind of been focusing on work, or just been sort of like, I don't know, just been kind of dealing with just like the grind and things along those lines, and been just in this real sort of serious type of energy. And there's this sort of lightheartedness that's coming from the Knight of Wands here. But and I also feel like if we don't give that, and I might need to get a little bit more on him, but I'm also kind of getting, if we're not mindful of that, Capricorn, if we keep, I don't know, it's almost like we're suppressing this sort of like exciting, like, it's like we're suppressing this energy maybe that, how do I want to put this? It's just that we're so goal oriented that, and listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you are the achievers of the zodiac. You know, you're about ambitions and prestige and structure. You know, you want to be seen in that, you know, get to that win. But I feel like that sometimes if we ignore that side of us, every now and again, when we do decide to cut loose, we do something that's maybe a little more on the reckless type of side, as opposed to giving into sort of like these healthier sort of impulses, if that makes sense. But no? Okay. No, I guess we're good, man. All right, dope. All right, yeah, just something to think about there, Capricorn. And I feel like too, just kind of one more thing, because you got the Four of Cups here. This is the Moon in Cancer, and Cancer is your opposite sign, and my sun signs in Cancer. And I was like kind of talk about our relationship, Capricorn being since we're the parents of the zodiac, you being the father, Cancer being the mother. But, you know, Cancer is a very, yes, we can be, you know, emotional sometimes because we feel so much with our ruler doing the most. So, you know, I get where it sucks, things taking a long time, but, you know, the moon's moving, it's like the fastest luminary, and it's a lot feeling that. But I do feel like that we also want to be mindful of where it is a great skill for you, you know, when it comes to getting things done, for you to be able to kind of shut your emotions off when you need to get, you know, get down to business. We want to be mindful of like keeping that stuff off and keeping that things blocked up, because things that aren't felt, they can't be dealt with, you know, and then it starts to fester in weird ways, and then we don't know where that stuff is coming from, and then it leads to that reactive type of energy there, Capricorn. So just a little something to think about there, especially since your ruler is in a water sign now. And you know, let's talk about that, because you got your ruler and Neptune are both retrograde in Pisces, and now Saturn's going to be retrograde until the 4th of November. And with this energy, Capricorn, this kind of asks us if we're following our dreams. Because you know, sometimes I feel too with like Capricorn energy that where it is one that can get stuff done and is very practical, you know, you're very good as far as like bringing, you know, just manifesting stuff and, you know, getting your abundance. But I sometimes wonder with that energy, are we really following our heart and following our passions? And not necessarily that we're quitting our careers or anything along those lines or doing a shift like that, but it's just like, are we making time for like hobbies and things along those lines, and thinking about how are we tapping into that spiritual side and being fulfilled in that sort of sense as well, and not just being caught up in the material, you know, in the 3D realm as well, Capricorn. Again, you're the sea goat there. You know, you have that intuitive ability at your, and you know, at your disposal, but if we don't utilize that, then that energy kind of atrophies, and then I don't know, it makes it harder for us to kind of get this, you know, 10 of Cups while we're working towards our 10 of Pentacles. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. It's very interesting energy with Saturn. I like Saturn being in Pisces, because it really does ask us to, if we're following our dreams and making those things manifest, you know, being really being true to where higher self is trying to guide you, you know, and but it also is a great energy too for getting in touch with that spiritual side of you, whether that be through meditation. Maybe this is getting out in nature. Maybe this is, I don't know, playing some music, or because it's like those kind of things there, when you allow that access there, access to those energies there, it really can shape your dreams in a different kind of way. Maybe you want to be the next, you know, be a great CEO, but it's just like you might think you want to be CEO of the next, like, oh, I don't know, what's a good example? I don't know, maybe it's like maybe you want to be the next CEO of like tarot cards, but it's just like instead of going at it from like we're just gonna mass produce tarot cards, maybe we're promoting our employees to create their own type of brands as well. You know, kind of bringing that sort of element as opposed to just doing this like a cookie cutter type of I don't know, Capricorn. I something along those lines there. But let me move on from that, because then also you have Neptune that's retrograde in Pisces until the 6th of December. And with this energy, this is a powerful energy for going inward and doing, you know, that introspective work and doing that self-reflection and really discovering oneself and what one was meant to do. And it just, I don't know, just to really tap into those universal energies in a really deep and rich type of way. But we also want to be mindful of escapisms as well, because Neptune can deal with those illusions, those fantasies, and that escapist realm, and those things that are holding us back from achieving our dreams. So just something to be mindful of there as well. And the nice thing with this energy too, though, there, Cap, depending on where your placements are at, this is forming a sextile with your sign. You actually got a lot that's going on here in your chart. But this is going to be forming a sextile with your sign. And sextiles they're very interesting energies because they create opportunities after trines. You know, they're fortunate energies. You know, it's can create opportunities, and you know, it's collaborative energy, but it's a little passive. It's one of those energies that we either we're creating these opportunities, and sometimes opportunities are presented to us depending on what's going down in your chart. But yeah, just something that we'd want to take advantage of there, Capricorn. But let's get some tarot on this, or get an oracle on this. Thank you. Oh, Interesting. All right, so you got the fourth, a lot of reflection here, Capricorn. Because you got the fourth card of Cancers, considering we're just talking about us, which is the Mirror card. And with this card, this is a card of self aware, seeing clearly, ego, facing issues, self assessment, self improvement, insecure, make comparisons, reflection, obsess, narcissistic, vain, self love, and self appreciation. And interesting, Capricorn, the energy that's coming through here is the self love. And if we've been, because sometimes when we start doing that introspective work, Capricorn, and we start journeying within and kind of facing those inner demons and not even inner demons, those maybe kind of like darker allies that we've may have made enemies of, but really they're there to help raise us up, because you can't have any light without dark. There needs to be that balance. And sometimes it's like, what do you see when you look at yourself, Capricorn? Are you happy with where you like, I don't know, like I remember talking with a buddy about this once, and they were saying like there's this exercise, you just like not doing anything, just kind of look in the mirror for like maybe a few minutes, and just really just kind of looking at yourself. Where do your thoughts go? Is it, are we doing energies of self-love, or do we notice that we're in a more sort of like self-deprecating type of energy? Are we lowering our vibration? And if that's the case there, Capricorn, this is a great energy for going inward and finding out where is the source of that. And as it makes sense. This is something that we don't want to force, but I do feel like that is something that if we don't have eyes on, because sometimes, and this is where I was talking about with your energy, is that sometimes, if we don't want to deal with those kind of tougher energies, we tend to, we may want to just shut that stuff off and not feel it. But here's the thing, in order to heal it, you got to feel it. And it may not be fun at first, but once you do learn to make energy, or to make an ally with that side of you, again, it can become, those dark ambassadors can become very powerful allies and really help you along on your journey. But you have to remember to treat yourselves with compassion. And then when you do too, Capricorn, this just makes you too, when you go to interact with others, it raises your level of empathy, and helps them treat you, because again, Pisces is a very empathetic sign, very compassionate. They have a universal love for just all. So you are in a very great place, and you should make sure that you're giving yourself, showing yourself a lot of love there, Cap. But let's get some, getting kind of Queen of Cups vibes. Oh, look at that, some clarity. A lot of sun energy been going around here too. But let's see what's going on with you, Cap. See what's going on there, Capricorn. Ooh, interesting. Alright, Cap, look at you. Major Arcana City. So you have the Eight of Pentacles, the Sun, the Hierophant, and then the Wheel of Fortune. And let's talk about this, Capricorn, because I feel like with the Eight of Pentacles here, because I feel like one thing with your sign too, because you are such a hardworking sign, that sometimes in order to ignore those, when we're maybe facing those things and maybe want to ignore that stuff, we may throw ourselves in our work, try to keep ourselves busy in order not to have to get lost in our thoughts here, Four of Swords. But I feel that can only work for so long. Eventually, we got to bring this stuff to light here and kind of see things clearly, figure out what is going on, and then start doing, maybe getting like kind of like a star card energy, where it's like we're doing that healing there, Capricorn. And I feel like that too, when you start putting in that work, that helps you to connect with the divine, because the Hierophant, Taurus energy, is considered, like a bridge between the spiritual and the divine realm. And he represents that, really, that divine wisdom that comes with connecting with source. But I feel that for some, it's like how we might be going about this thing may be a little kind of traditional with how we deal with things, or it's just sort of like we just sort of stick to like how we know how to operate. Eight of Pentacles with this Hierophant, and we're not willing to kind of shift these things up here, and then that keeps us stuck in this kind of cycle here and keeps us from, excuse me, from fulfilling our destinies there, Capricorn. So I just feel that with this energy, you know, that as we're just kind of going through this, going inward and, you know, and discovering more about ourselves, you know, just trying to remember to treat yourselves with as much love and as compassion as you can, because I feel that, again, something is trying to awaken in you, and if you don't deal with those things, it just slows down. It doesn't take away from your abundance. It's Jupiter energy here, but it does kind of slow things down a little bit, because it's just like, in order to appreciate these opportunities that come for you, you know, we want to be in we got to be able to be in like a higher vibration there, Capricorn. All right, Cap. I like this so far. I like where this is going. All right, let me pour up a little tea here, and let's talk about Virgo energy, because you have Venus, the Empress, that's going to be entering Virgo on the 8th of October and will be there through the 8th of November. And with this energy, Capricorn, you know, the Empress is going to work. So, I mean, and not that you need any help with that, but, you know, now the Empress is in a very efficient type of energy. And this one energy is great for, it can be great for focusing on practical matters, because, you know, Venus can deal, she rules over Taurus, and Taurus deals with, like, finances, security, things along those lines. So maybe we're thinking about, where we're investing in, like, maybe as far as like housing, for example, or maybe we're thinking about finding alternative streams of income, or, you know, just so we have some passive income maybe coming in, or you know, Venus can, you know, Taurus can deal with self-esteem too. So maybe this is something where we're because, you know, self-love and self-care, that's very practical there, Cap. And so maybe we're finding like different affirmations or things along those lines, maybe getting into more kind of like guided meditations, or just meditations in general, connecting with nature, however that's looking. But also too, this really this is a great energy for like figuring out what is working in our relationships and what isn't. So maybe this for something where, you know, if we notice that, because I feel you're a very patient sign, Capricorn, and maybe some of the people that we might be dealing with maybe lowering our vibration, and, you know, maybe getting you in this state of, I don't know, maybe like got you doubting yourself, or again affecting your self-esteem, and we just want to evaluate that. And if things aren't quite working or aren't quite harmonious, we may again need to put up some boundaries, or, you know, maybe part ways and kind of let them do some self growth there. Wish them love and light, and take care, higher vibrations. And depending on where your placements are at, this is going to be forming a trine with your sign. And trines are the most fortunate aspect there, Capricorn, because they remove obstacles. It's very, very much about speed, very kind of like Eight of Wands energy, where it just removes obstacles for you, and it creates like creates this like, again, like opportunities and luck and things along those lines. Very, very cool energy with these trines. But, you know, I feel like this is a great energy too, considering Virgo, you know, adjust these routines and things like that. But let's get an oracle on this. Thank you. Oh, interesting. Look at you singing it with the energies. So you got the sixth card of Virgo, which is the sap card. And just talking about that, maybe people taking away from your resources. This is a card of resources, needed materials, flow, wealth, essence of life, spring, blood, nourishment, sweetness, energy, vitality, grounded, roots, abundant, physical health, and life force. An energy that's coming through here, Capricorn, is the sweetness. And that's kind of what I was feeling like with the Knight of Wands earlier. It's like maybe for some there's this need to, I don't know, to do more kind of like, and it's not that you don't treat yourself nicely, Capricorn, but it's just like maybe we need to be surrounded by more sweetness, or maybe just considering we were talking about self-love, you know, as we're discovering this thing, you know, just being a little kinder to ourselves. You know, I feel like yours is a sign that can be, you know, a little strict maybe sometime, and, you know, very, very kind of demanding of yourselves. And again, it's nice to have that drive, but I feel like that there is there's a time and a place for that. Sometimes where we need to again push and be proactive and be, about the business, and other times where we need to be a little more lighthearted, a little more fun, a little more joy. And maybe for some it's just like, I don't know, I'm almost even kind of getting that maybe even in like your work, possibly maybe there's been a lot of demanding energies of you, that it's just like you've had to, maybe we've been needing to work overtime, or maybe you're the one that is always just like the go-to, just like, hey, can you pick up this shift, or hey, can you do this for me, or maybe we're even in like a management position where it's just like we feel like we always just have to be on and on and on all the time, and just keep going and going and going, and just like, taking maybe breaks like every so often, and eventually, that's going to lead to burnout there, Capricorn. Again, kind of like 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands type of energy, and it's just going to start weighing you down until it gets into like a hanged man situation where we need to kind of reevaluate what's going down there, kind of see things from a newer perspective. But let's get some tarot on this and find out about this sweetness. Oh, actually, Capricorn, I'm going to pause for a second because I'm going to sneeze. All right, Cap, we're back. Getting it together. Okay. Let's do the same. Let's get back to shuffling. Thank you. Oh, look at all this reflection. Ha! And Cancer. I'm with it. Oh, and I love that. You really are syncing up with the energies in a cool type of way there, Capricorn, because you got the Six of Cups here, and then you have the Hermit, Virgo energy, and then the Chariot, Cancer energy. And Capricorn, I almost feel like with this Six of Cups kind of being here, I'm almost kind of getting this because the Six of Cups can be like a card of the past. And I do feel that there's this, maybe for some, there's this energy of maybe we've been reflecting on, maybe we didn't have that. I'm feeling for some, it's just like maybe a lot was expected of us maybe when we were younger. Maybe this was something where, I'm not sure. It's like where it's almost like our inner light was needed to be like almost was like dulled in a sense, or we kind of lost that sweetness or like that innocence or something like that, because we had to maybe get down to business, or maybe had came into the sense of like, I don't know, you're like, I'm getting like a very sort of like you really kind of being in like your kind of like Capricorn like father type of energy. Maybe we had to be one that's sort of like, rose above and had to kind of, even though we wanted to take this time and, maybe share and fun and stuff with others, we were the type that just had to keep it moving, and kind of keep things kind of going there. But I'm almost kind of getting this energy with the Chariot, that there's this need to maybe kind of slow down again and just kind of smell the roses in a sense, kind of appreciate again all the sweetness that is around you. And maybe then, like, if there's been these sort of like esteem things that we've been going through, or this self-reflection, or because even the Hermit, when the Hermit pops up, this is a card of just like deep reflection, at least, and it can be, just sort of like this divine inspiration that kind of comes through there. And I love when in the Thoth deck, I love when the Hermit is like, he's like carrying the sun inside, and I always love doing this thing where it's just like, oh, I can't do it with these cards are kind of long, but it's like where I'll talk about where the sun is rising up from the Hermit there. But I feel like that maybe, maybe take this as it resonates, Capricorn. But just seeing how you got the Sun in Virgo here, maybe this last Virgo, maybe Virgo season has been a little maybe tough on you here as of late, or was kind of a tough one, because it was very, you had some okay readings there, like for the most part. But it's like I feel like as a soul tribe, we really kind of took a hit there with Virgo season, with how retrograde heavy things was, and there was this sense of reevaluation and things along those lines as far as like where we've been taking our journey so far. And again, it's just like I don't even feel like, like we're doing anything maybe for some super crazy, but it's just like getting in like a different type of routine there, just again to kind of maybe bask in the sunlight a little bit, to kind of take those moments to, and if we're not necessarily sharing this with others, I don't know, it's just like sharing these experiences with you and your higher self, or however you connect the source there. And there's a need to just like, I don't know, Capricorn. But I do like that. I do think that as we're reflecting on this, maybe we'll see that there has, where we've been maybe in this sort of like maybe kind of rigid energy, and just a need to kind of just loosen up a little bit. Excuse me, maybe like, because even you've been getting some energy of just like maybe sharing, like hanging out with some friends. And yeah, very interesting energy of Capricorn. All right. All right, now let's talk about Scorpio energy, because you have Mars that's going to be entering Scorpio on the 11th of October and will be there through the 24th of November. And with this Capricorn, there's a greater ability to persevere and to work through difficult challenges. So this is something where if we do find ourselves like having trouble maybe dealing with, because maybe even with the Six of Cups, it's like maybe there's some, even like some past things that may come up while we're dealing with this stuff. Again, maybe there wasn't that innocence, or that energy to really enjoy yourself as a child, or maybe even enjoy yourself here recently. But whatever this is that we're reflecting on, this gives us a challenge to really tap into that resilience and to kind of push through and to do that shadow work with the Chariot. Because usually with the Chariot, there's this light figure and this dark figure that are pulling the Chariot, and when both those energies are in harmony, then that's when the Chariot, I feel like, is moving at its fastest, and that we're really getting towards that victory, that wheel of fortune, that abundance, that sunlight, where that clarity comes through. So really work with this energy, Capricorn. And this is a great energy for doing self-examination, because Scorpio, the Six of Cups, this is the sun in Scorpio, and this does allow you to kind of bring those kind of darker things up into light, and to face them head on, and to show them that level of compassion that you would show the lighter side when you're achieving and you're winning. And whereas to the energies where we may feel like we're disappointing ourselves or we're failing. So something to think about there, Cap. But also, considering that Mars is one of the rulers of Scorpio, along with Pluto. um, Mars is at home, and so Mars in this, Mars can be a little aggressive sometimes. So we want to be mindful of aggression as well. And just like with Pisces energy, this is forming a sextile with your sign. So you see, you got a lot of stuff that's a lot of fortunate energies here, Capricorn. Libra's providing a little bit of trickiness there, and you did have a reading here too recently with all these people. And so yeah, it might be, you might have some challenges with some people there, Capricorn, maybe coming into to this season. We're doing some reevaluation, but overall, you do have very harmonious energies for change, oh, and for moving things forward. Oh, let me grab that, Cap, and then let's get an oracle on the mix. Thank you. Oh, all right, a little more Virgo energy here, Cap, because you got the fifth card of Virgos, which is the headache card. And with this card, this is a card of poor health, dis-ease, illness, unpleasant, crisis, emergency, body signal, needing self-care, problem, root cause, annoying, disagreeable, something's off, pain, and underlying condition. An energy that's popping through here, Capricorn, is the needing self-care. And I feel like with this, maybe for some, it's just like maybe we've been, I don't know, it's like if we've been kind of maybe stressed at work, or maybe we've been, I don't know, it's like maybe even while we're doing this, this shadow work or this healing, it's just like that we've been, that maybe we've been so caught up in that, or maybe it's taken a toll on us more than we had thought, and we've just kind of pushed it aside, and we haven't seen how maybe things have manifested in a way. Like it's maybe it's I feel like it's coming out in like I don't know, maybe we've been getting more headaches, or, and this isn't medical advice or anything, Capricorn, or maybe we've been having trouble sleeping, possibly, or, but I do feel like if you've been maybe kind of going with work for a while, or maybe you've been feeling this energy of maybe been feeling a little down as of late, taking a moment and just kind of like, again, taking care of yourself, whatever that's looking like. Maybe it's just like, again, getting more rest, or maybe it's getting out in nature, or maybe even it could be like, the foods that we might be eating, possibly, just really kind of paying attention to, and just seeing if we're, or this could even be, maybe even like where the mental state where we're at. Maybe we've been kind of, again, kind of beating ourselves up or something along those lines, and we just like even trying to change the narrative there, just sort of been maybe stuck in a cycle as of late. But let's see what's going on with that, Capricorn. Thank you. All right, Cap, let's see what's going on here. Oh, there's your ruler. So you have the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the World, and the Magician here, Capricorn. And I feel like for some, it feels like that there's this, it almost feels like that there's this, for some, it feels like that maybe there's this dream that we've been trying to accomplish as of late. Maybe there's this, or I almost feel like with this, it's just like, it's like there is this dream that we have, but I almost feel like that it feels we've been denied that. That it doesn't feel like no matter what we do, it doesn't seem to be coming. And then it's leading to this energy of, it's getting to this frustrated state. It's getting to this sort of like depressive type of state, like a Three of Swords, maybe Nine of Swords type of energy, where it's just like, I don't know, where it's just like we're really kind of in it, and like it's just like now we're in this place of, how we were Four of Cups, where we've just been sort of jaded, or just not caring, or maybe even been just sort of stressed out, because it's just like, well, what are we doing wrong? How come we can't seem to manifest this thing? And I do feel like it's like, it almost feels like that maybe we might even be trying to force something to happen here. I might need to get a little bit more with this Nine of Cups here, but it does. It feels like that maybe we're trying to force something along here, or yeah, trying to, like, it's, but it's, the more we try to force it, the more we stay stuck in this cycle here, and there's a need to kind of like to pause for a second. And let me get a little bit more on this Nine of Cups here, Capricorn. Thank you. Interesting. All right, so the Nine of Cups is clarified by the Two of Cups and then the Ten of Swords here, Capricorn. And it feels like with this that there's this energy of not being able to or it almost feels like that there's this energy of something is getting in the way of you manifesting properly. And again, I feel like this might be, maybe there was some situations in the past where because it's that's interesting because I'm almost feeling like that with the Two of Cups here. It's just like that maybe there have been some where we felt like we kind of got betrayed by someone. You know, maybe this was a friend, maybe this was a family member, maybe this was a relationship, even maybe even like a business partnership. And it's one thing where we may have thought that we were over this thing, but there's something here that is still kind of getting in the way. It's like our, because you know the magician is Mercury, and I can deal with our thoughts, and I feel like there's not been this, that something hasn't been properly communicated or been properly assessed, because it's like maybe we thought we had this, we were in this sort of like perfect environment, this kind of like happy home, happy family, you know, we had maybe kind of found this kind of soul tribe, but now we're in this kind of, there's this need to go through this healing process to kind of process this, maybe what has gone down here, but I feel like we might be kind of rushing it along here, maybe not realizing how deeply this thing might have affected your momentum there, Capricorn. And but I'm even, if this is not like a person, I almost feel like that too. There's this energy of maybe we're even feeling a little betrayed by like our higher forces here, you know, like kind of like blaming the universe in the sense. And you know, you got to be careful what you're manifesting there, Capricorn, because it's like, you know, maybe we're just like, I don't know, it does, I feel like it's just like we're kind of like, in a sense, almost like cursing the universe, or just like saying like, when am I, how come I'm not getting mine, you know, everyone else is getting this sense of fulfillment and things. And just feeling really this sense of unfairness, you know, just like, when is your wish going to be granted, or and that's some tough energy to be in there, Capricorn. I remember a little while back, and this is really kind of a real vivid memory. I was just kind of driving and kind of feeling the same type of thing, and I was just kind of driving my little truck, just going around, and I just remember sort of looking like, well, it's just like, well, if you're not gonna, just kind of looking up at the universe, and it's just like, well, if you're not gonna do anything, well, fine, F it. Like I got this then. Like it's, and you know, and that's where I feel like that's coming from, there's a hurt, you know, that's coming from there, and there's something where we need to kind of go in and find the source of that pain, you know, where that really is coming from, you know, like I'm even kind of getting almost a sense with the Ten of Swords of kind of hitting rock bottom there, and sort of just like in the state of just like not really understanding what's going to happen next, or, and you know this, but again, you can, the nice thing I feel like with this Scorpio energy, you know, that's happening, is that there is an energy to persevere through that, but it is going to take some work, and there are going to be some tough emotions that do come up with that, Capricorn. And it's just something I feel like we definitely want to be mindful of, getting in the routine of getting in that, just getting kind of stuck in that cycle there. All right, yeah, but that's a lot to think about there, Cap. If that's something that's resonating, but all right, let's talk about Taurus energy, because you got Jupiter. Since Jupiter popped up here, you got Big Papa Jupiter and Uranus that are both retrograde in Taurus right now. And Jupiter's going to be retrograde until about the end of the year, the 30th of December. And with this energy, Capricorn, this is kind of asking us where we've been kind of investing our time as of late, or investing our energies. Because, Taurus can deal with, sensual pleasures and things along those lines. They're a sign of the senses, because they feel it's if we've been in, because the thing with Jupiter is wherever he touches expands, there's an abundance of. But if we're in that sort of lower vibration, that's the thing with Jupiter, and that's the trickiness. If we're in that, if your Nine of Cups is in reverse, we're free, that's what we're attracting, and that's what there's going to be plenty of. It's those low vibes and things, and feeling stuck in a cycle. But and sometimes too, with Taurus energy, because they do, they do have like more acute senses, in order to, sometimes you can get kind of in that overindulgent type of state. They're kind of almost getting to like your energy, the devil card in this deck. And the devil's not meant to keep you down, but it's supposed to it brings to light where we've given power to. And if we've been giving us into those sort of like instant fixes, those kind of quick type of gratification, as opposed to thinking about those long-term type of healing, doing that, going inward, doing that self-care, we're indulging in escapisms, then we need to reevaluate that there, Capricorn. But that's just one thing to think about. Thinking about long game when it comes with Jupiter being in Taurus. But also, you got Uranus that's going to be retrograde until the 27th of January, 2024. And with this energy, Cap, this is thinking about like kind of novel ways of it, maybe going about how we've been dealing with like maybe coping and things as of late. Just for example, this is something we've been, because Taurus can also deal with self-esteem as well. But this can be thinking about like new ways of investing, and or maybe even new ways of just like security and things along those lines. But also too, this is not just for just for you, it's just like how we're contributing to society as well, and how we can raise that vibration, because Uranus rules over Aquarius, which deals with like the collective and things along those lines. And but also too, Capricorn, you may notice, not that there hasn't already been these changes, but you may notice too that there are changes in the stock market and the economy, things like that, and it's just like figuring out what are we doing to get prepped for that energy. And then just like with Virgo energy, this is forming a trine with your sign. So you have a lot of very beneficial energies for, I feel like, some great healing and some great growth there. But so definitely work with that there, Capricorn. But let's get into let's get some tarot on, or get an oracle on this. Thank you. Yeah, forgive me, Capricorn. I've been a little stuffed up as of late. That's kind of been a lot. But you got the fourth card of Leo's here, which is the family card. And with this card, this is a card of loyalty, faithful, allegiance, parents, children, siblings, fidelity, commitment, trust, affection, support systems, origins, tribe, dependable, sincere, and kindred spirits. And the energy that's coming through here, Capricorn, is a commitment. And I feel like for some, just considering where we were talking about that Ten of Swords there as well, maybe we've been kind of reestablishing where we've been putting our commitments into, kind of like who we've been kind of sharing these experiences with, thinking with like the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups, and maybe even think too, this might be even because maybe we've started committing our times to, and it's not that I feel like you're necessarily, slacking on your responsibilities, but it's just like maybe in our downtime, it's just like maybe we can been committing to, just like things of like escapism possibly, or something along those lines. But, and this may, again, maybe these actions here may stem from something from our past, because the Ten of Cups can be a card of families. But too, this may not just be from like our childhood families. Maybe this would have been from maybe our soul tribe family, or people we had thought of, like, or maybe our social circle at the time. And it's like we might be questioning the commitment of what does family look like for you, and And that can be a lot to deal with, you know, when we're thinking about that. And maybe that's why, if you've noticed that you've been, I don't know, energies have been off, and there's this need to just kind of take a rest and self-care while we're kind of reevaluating this thing, because that is a lot when you're thinking about your family, and when you've noticed that you're starting to change, but you know others are kind of maybe staying at a different vibration. It's just like, how do we move on from that? What does that shift look like, and how does that affect you long term? But let's get some tarot on this. Thank you. All right, Cap. Let's see what's going on here. Interesting. Oh, there you are, Cap. All right. So you have the Six of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Judgment card, and the Devil here, you Capricorn. And you know, we were talking about that, you know, just like where we've been kind of committing our energies to. You know, have we maybe indulged in toxic situations, or have we been, or maybe this might be something too. It's just like maybe we were surrounded by maybe people who again were maybe lowering our vibrations, and we had noticed that there wasn't that reciprocity that was being given, you know, that balance that was there. And now there's this new idea that's being planted as far as like, what do we do next? And the energies haven't been feeling quite high, I feel like, with the Queen of Wands. You know, maybe we haven't been feeling confident as far as like, what does that look like? What is that rebirth with Pluto? Because that's interesting too, that Pluto would pop up here with your energy, because Pluto is in your sign right now. And so I do feel like this is an energy of you kind of regaining your power back here with this. But I feel like it is something that is going to be a challenge, and it's going to be one where it is going to kind of test your energies. It's not going to be one where we're kind of going with that enthusiasm, maybe, or you know, just like it may not. It's never easy. I feel like when we're doing this type of healing and we're doing this type of work there, when we notice these imbalances and things, but they are necessary for your regrowth there, Capricorn, because you're coming into a higher vibration of yourself, and as you get to begin to work on these things, this is going to attract the soul family that you want. So again, with the Nine of Cups being there to the Ten of Cups, it's just like pay attention to how, as you start doing these things for yourself, how the energies do readjust, you know, and how they do can bring in a whole different kind of vibe towards you here. But let me get a little bit more with the Devil. Oh, look at that, Capricorn. So the Devil, you, is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles and then the Ace of Cups here. And so, and I like that that came up while we were talking about Taurus energy, because we are thinking about long term. You know, because maybe for some we've been patient, you know, because this could be currently, you know, that we're noticing that there does need to be a shift. You know, it's just like, do I see myself being with this group long term, and maybe even with like this business long term, or you know, or this, you know, however this may be looking. It's just like, is this really filling up all my cups? And then if not, Capricorn, I do feel like that again, like kind of was thinking with like that Knight of Cups earlier too. It's just like we got to follow our hearts, trust that intuition, and see where these energies, newer energies, are trying to guide you. All right, Cap. Let's move some of this stuff here, and then let's get to, since Pluto really made a statement there, coming out Pluto in Capricorn. Oh, where'd that Oracle card go? Oh, there we go. Bam. Let's talk about Pluto in your sign, because Pluto's going to be hanging out in is going to be retrograde in your sign until the or it's going to be retrograded to your sign until the 10th of October, and then will be in your sign until about the 20th of January 2024. Very close to Aquarius season. But hold on 1 second, Capricorn. All right, Cap. Sorry about that. Last time, I promise. But with Pluto being in Capricorn, this is very kind of world-changing energy. If not on like a literal kind of global scale, there, Capricorn. Which I mean, it definitely is. Maybe just in your world. But both Pluto and your sign are both very very success and power oriented, very driven, and this really forces us to face feelings about power and corporations and governments and things, especially if maybe we've noticed that we're working in maybe like a toxic environment that hasn't been kind of conducive to our growth, or, it's like we put in a whole bunch but we're not getting anything back, or however that may be looking there, Capricorn, or maybe we've been wanting to, because there's been a little bit of like advocacy work kind of going on there too, so maybe that's something we may be kind of thinking about as well. But there's definitely about to be this like kind of transformation in social order and things like that. We're moving into a different time there, Capricorn, and depending on where your placements are at, and this one's going to be more so, you're going to need your date, place, and time of birth to find out if you're going through this conjunction right now. But this is going to be forming a conjunction with your sign. And conjunctions are interesting energy, because it's just like, Pluto's like, it's blending with your energies, and it's leading to this sense of change. It's that growth that happens in life. And Pluto transits can be in pretty intense. They also rule over Scorpio, and because like, for example, like even with like trine energies, the most fortunate one, like I'm and now that Pluto's going to be moving back, it's going to be forming that trine again. But I just went through a trine with my moon sign not too long ago with Pluto, and where something cool did, like something good did kind of come out of for me, like this realization. But it was interesting how it went down, and it did happen so fast that it was interesting for sure. So Pluto does, yeah, but these conjunctions though, um, they can feel a little stressful at first. You may not notice the change there, but it is meant to, again, get you to that higher vibration. But let's get your last oracle card here. Thank you. Alrighty, so you have the 8th card of Taurus here, which is the Beehive card. And with this is a card of diligent, persistent, stamina, application, tireless, mindful, hard work, devoted, fruitful, busy, conscientious, energetic, continual, harvest, endurance, effort, patient, and concentration. An energy that's coming through here, Capricorn, is the tireless. And considering too that you had that self-care earlier, maybe we've been thinking a lot about these commitments and a lot of this stuff, this reflection, this going inward, that maybe we've been kind of, I don't know, been kind of working, like, I don't know, been maybe distracting ourselves with like, working like really long hours, or maybe we just haven't been sleepless, or excuse me, we've been, it just feels like that the mind has been really maybe busy, just as of late here. Or maybe as you start thinking about this stuff, it's just like it could be a lot, and you might, it's just like this constant buzzing, and it's just like, oh, can this thing stop? And I find if you find yourself in that energy, Capricorn, again, taking some time to make sure that we're doing some self-care, taking some breaks, make sure that we're getting enough rest, that we're hydrating, that we're getting, eating, healthy food, making time for, bringing a little sweetness in our lives. And yeah, let's get your last tarot cards here, Capricorn. Cap. Alright, so last little bit here, you have the Three of Wands, the Six of Swords, and then the Moon card here. And let's switch back over to Capricorn. Because I do kind of feel with this energy, started with the Six of Swords, that, you know, if you've been kind of working tirelessly, or if you've been just like the mind has been kind of working, or just haven't had this sense of break, I almost feel like with the Six of Swords and the Three of Wands, really plus the Chariot, that maybe there's a need to just kind of disconnect for a little while. You know, to allow yourself to kind of, again, to like allow yourself to kind of go within, you know, to kind of be with the mind and not necessarily quiet it in the sense, but observe it. Observe what thoughts are kind of going through, what vibrations. Because I'm just thinking with like bees, you know, they're just a buzzing, just a vibrating, and just paying attention to what vibrations that you notice, or where you tend to be when you're with yourself for a while. And I feel like that if you were to take that leap into the unknown, it would kind of clear, things would become a little more clear for you with this Moon card. And you'd start, because after the Moon is the Sun, and I like that because it's like you go from the Moon to the Sun, and then you got the Judgment card as the next card, and then the Wheel of, or the World is the last stop here. And then it's like you get to this level of expansion, and then you start over as the Fool again. Start something new. And the Six of Swords is going on to newer experience, you know, newer horizons. But I am kind of feeling with that, you know, that kind of Pluto in your sign, you know, while you're, I do feel like that there's this energy you kind of getting your power back in a sense, you know, kind of maybe especially we've been feeling, or if we find ourselves kind of like feeling at our lowest, maybe, you know, coming into a different type of, I don't know, finding a different type of motivation and being able to, yeah, to really kind of grow and expand from that there, Capricorn. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. And again, sorry for the interruptions. I'm not sure what that little flare up was about, but we're all good there, Capricorn. I might need to do a little self care myself. But if you like that, Capricorn, give it a thumbs up and share this, because I feel that, oh goodness, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze again, Capricorn. Okay, now for real last time. But like this, Capricorn. Let me say that before I jinx myself. Like this, Capricorn, if anything, if you like that, and share this, because I feel like this is something where going within, facing those fears, you know, doing that self-love, taking that time to self-care, it really is an important part of the journey, Capricorn, and it really does help you get to your highest vibration there, and you start seeing things from a higher perspective. And then if you haven't already there, Cap, subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified on all these videos each week. And then last little bit, look at you getting the hottest ticket to come over to my other channel. Not that you need it. But if you have any Cancer, which you got a couple, we got one Cancer's cards too, but if you got any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Chariot, friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, even when they're Pisces. Silly Pisces. And it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Capricorn. You got the Eight of Wands here. And I feel like that maybe for some, it's just like maybe things have been just kind of happening really fast as of late. You know, it's just been just a lot of energies. Maybe just like as we're going through this inward and doing all this shadow work, it's just a lot. It's just been kind of coming in. Messages have been being received. You know, just I don't know. It's just like energies all over the place. But while you're going through that, Capricorn, I do like, again, make sure that we are taking some times to just kind of slow down a little bit and just like allow yourself to process this stuff and try not to take on too much at once, you know, just like, again, Six of Pentacles, kind of balance that stuff out there. But let me get your Oracle card, get you out here before I get a sneezing again. Thank you. Oh, all right, Capricorn. I like that, because you got the 20th card here, which is the Imagine card, and the 20th card in the Major Arcana is the Judgment card. So very emphasis on this Pluto here. I feel like this is where this vibration is at. Imagine yourself at a higher vibration there, Capricorn. Imagine yourself getting through this healing work, you know. And I like this. It's like there's this soul, and this is very kind of judgment card in a sense. It's like you see this, the moon is like lifting the soul out, you know, like it's like there's this transcendence that's happening here, Capricorn, and you seeing things from a different vibration. I really like that. And I feel like it's one of those things that's just like once you get that image in your head as far as like what you at a higher vibration and where you want your energies to be, then start really manifesting that with the magician. Start taking those steps to create this world that you've dreamed of, you know. Let that sunlight shine through. I mean, you do have a lot of major arcanas here now. As I'm pulling it up, I'm like, man, I'm about to run out of hands here. You do have quite a bit. So, oh, in Capricorn, I don't know why I didn't notice this sooner, but you got all the earth signs here. You Taurus and Virgo popped up, and you know, earth energy. I feel like it's like I am kind of feeling too that for some others that while you're going within, there is maybe again we've been maybe kind of like concerned or maybe been a little wrapped up in sort of like the earthly kind of material realms here, and there's a need to kind of transcend above that and dip into that, like, because you know again your ruler is in Pisces right now, and you showed up here. You got a lot of energy. You got a lot of major arcanas here. When you got a lot built up like that, that's higher self cooking up stuff behind the scenes there, Capricorn. And so I like that. I feel like there's a lot of getting ready to manifest greatness there, Capricorn, but I think I'm going to leave that there. So you stay safe out there, going within, doing this self-love, you know, paying attention to people you commit to, make sure you're not working tirelessly, find that balance there, Cap. And you raise your vibration to the roof, you know, because you're meant to achieve greatness. You know, again, you don't get the moniker of, you know, you accomplish whatever you set your heart to, Capricorn. You know how you got great perseverance, and again, you can do. I can't wait to see what you imagine up there, Cap. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.